Hi friends, we're going to continue the Tale of Despereaux. Chapter 18, Confessions. Rosciro went, as Botticelli told him he must, to torture the new prisoner and to take the red cloth from him. The man was sitting with his legs stretched out in front of him, chained to the floor. The red cloth was still draped over his shoulders. Rosciro squeezed through the bars and crept slowly over the damp, weeping stones of the cell floor. When he was close to the man, he said, welcome, welcome. We're delighted to have you." The man lit a match and looked at Rosciro. Rosciro stared longingly into the light. "Go on," said the prisoner, and he waved a hand in the direction of Rosciro, and the match went out. "Ye nothing but a rat." "I am," said Rosciro. "Exactly that, a rat. Allow me to congratulate you on your very astute powers of observation." "What do ye want, rat?" "What do I want? Nothing for my sake, that is. I've come for you. I've come to keep you company here in the dark." And he crawled closer to the man. "I don't need the company of a rat." "What about the solace of a sympathetic ear? Can that be provided? Do you need that?" "Huh? Would you like to confess your sins?" "To a rat? Are you kidding?" "Come now," said Rosciro. "Close your eyes. Pretend I'm not a rat. Pretend I'm nothing but a voice in the darkness. A voice that cares." The prisoner closed his eyes. "All right," he said. "I'll tell you. But I'm telling you because there ain't no point in not telling you. No point in keeping secrets from a dirty little rat. I ain't in such a desperate way that I need to lie to a rat." The man cleared his throat. "I'm here for stealing 6 cows, 2 jerseys, and 4 gunsaries. Cows thief, that's my crime." He opened his eyes and stared into the darkness. He laughed. He closed his eyes again. "But there's something else I done many years ago, another crime, and I don't know that anybody knows about it." "Go on," said Rosciro. He crept closer. He allowed one paw to touch the magical red cloth. "I traded my girl, my own daughter, for this red tablecloth, and for a hen, and for a handful of cigarettes," said Rosciro. He was not alarmed to hear of such a hideous thing. His parents, after all, had not much cared for him, and certainly if there was any profit in it, they would have sold him. And then, too, Botticelli, one lazy Sunday afternoon, had recited from memory all the confessions that he had heard from prisoners. What humans are capable of came to no surprise to Rosciro. "And then," said the man. "And then?" said Rosciro. "And then I done the worst thing of all. I walked away from her. She was crying and calling out my name, and I didn't even look back. I did not. Oh, Lord, I just kept on walking." The prisoner sniffled. "Ah," said Rosciro. I see. By now he was standing so that all 4 paws were on the red cloth. "Do you find comfort in this cloth that you sold your own child for?" "It's warm," said the man. "Is it worth your child?" "I like the color of it." "Does the cloth remind you of what you have done wrong?" "It does," sniffled the prisoner. "It does." "Allow me to ease you of your burdens," said Rosciro. He stood on his hind legs, bowed at the waist. "I will take this reminder of your sins from you," he said. The rat took hold of the tablecloth with his strong teeth and pulled it off the shoulder of the man. "Hey, see here! I want that back!" But Rosciro, readers, he was quick. He pulled the tablecloth through the bars of the cell. Whoosh! Like a magic trick in reverse. "Hey!" shouted the prisoner. "Bring that back! It's all I got!" "Yes," said Rosciro, "and that's exactly why I must have it." "You dirty rat!" shouted the prisoner. "Yes," said Rosciro, "that's it. That is the most accurate." And he left the man dragging the tablecloth back to his nest, and considered it. Ugh, what a disappointment it was. Looking at it, Roscuro knew Botticelli was wrong. What Roscuro wanted, what he needed, was not the cloth, but the light that had shone behind it. He wanted to be filled, flooded, and blinded again with the light. And for that, readers, the rat knew that he must go upstairs. Chapter 19. Light, light everywhere. Imagine, if you will, having spent the whole of your life in a dungeon. Imagine that one spring day you stepped out of the dark into a world of bright windows and polished floors, winking copper pots, shining suits of armor, and tapestries sewn in gold. Imagine, and while you imagine things, imagine this too. Imagine that at the same time the rat steps from the dungeon and into the castle, a mouse is being born upstairs. A mouse, readers, who is destined to meet our light-bedazzled rat. But the meeting will occur much later. And for now, the rat has nothing and is nothing but happy and delighted and amazed to find himself standing in so much light. I, said Roscuro, spinning dizzily from one bright thing to the next, I will never leave. No, never. I will never go back to the dungeon. Why would I? I will never torture another prisoner. It is here where I belong. The rat waltzed happily from room to room until he found himself at the door of the banquet hall. He looked inside and saw gathered there King Philip, Queen Rosemary, and the Princess P. 20 noble people, a juggler, 4 minstrels, and all the king's men. This party, readers, was a sight for a rat's eyes. Roscuro had never seen happy people. He had known only miserable ones, Gregory the jailer, and those who were consigned to his domain did not laugh or smile or clink glasses with the person sitting next to them. Roscuro was enchanted. Everything glittered. Everything. The gold spoons on the table, the jingle bells on the juggler's cap, the string on the minstrel's guitars, and the crowns on the king and queen's heads. And the little princess. Oh, how lovely she was. How much like light itself. Her gown was covered in sequins that winked and glimmered at the rat. And when she laughed, and she often laughed, everything around her seemed to glow brighter. Oh, really? Roscuro said. This is too extraordinary. This is too wonderful. I must tell Botticelli that he is wrong. Suffering is not the answer. Light is the answer. And he made his way into the banquet hall. He lifted his tail off the ground and held it at an angle, and marched in the time of the music by the minstrels that they were playing on their guitars. The rat, readers, invited himself to the party. Chapter 20. A view from the chandelier. There was in the banquet hall a most beautiful and ornate chandelier. The crystals that hung from it caught the light of the candles on the table and the light from the face of the laughing princess. They danced to the rhythm of the minstrel's music, swaying back and forth, twinkling and beckoning. What a better place to view all this glory, all this beauty! There was so much laughter and singing and juggling that no one noticed as Roscuro crawled up the table leg and onto the table, and there he flung himself onto the lowest branch of the chandelier. Hanging by one paw, he swung back and forth, admiring the spectacle below him. The smells of the food, the sound of the music, the light, oh, the light, amazing, unbelievable. Roscuro smiled and shook his head. Unfortunately, a rat can hang from a chandelier for only so long before he is discovered. This would be true even at the loudest party. And readers, who do you think spotted him? You're right. The sharp-eyed Princess P. "A rat!" she shouted. "A rat is hanging from the chandelier!" The party, as I had noted, was very loud. The minstrels were strumming and singing. The people were laughing and eating. The man with the jingle cap was juggling and jingling. No one in the midst of all the merriment heard the P, no one except for Roscuro. Rat. He had never before been aware of what an ugly word it truly was. Rat. And in the middle of the beauty, it immediately became clear that it was an extremely distasteful symbol. Rat. A curse, an insult, a word totally without light. And not until he heard it from the mouth of the princess did Roscuro realize that he did not like being a rat, that he did not want to be a rat. This revelation hit Roscuro with such force that it made him lose his grip on the chandelier. The rat, readers, fell, and alas, he fell directly into the queen's bowl of soup. We're going to stop here, but first I got to show you the picture. So let's take a look. Roscuro hanging from the chandelier, and then the deer down at the bottom. You can see the princess pointing up at Roscuro. And if you look carefully below Roscuro's feet, there is the queen's bowl of soup. And the jugglers on the other side of the princess. We will continue later.